Hello, bitches.
Hello. Oh, I'm muted.
What?
My mic is not work.
It is. But
Oh, my headset no work then.
yeah. People were in here cleaning. So it might have been
Hello,
unplugged.
friends. How are you? What up, Break Nation?
You good?
No, I still have no audio. It was there for. There we go. There we go.
It's just hard to do with one hand.
Yeah.
Hello. What up, Bright Nation? Thanks, Noel. I really wasn't gonna do the podcast today, but
Yeah.
Noel was like, "Man, it's time for the podcast," and I was like, "Well, I guess so. Just for you."
It woke me up out of a dead sleep and was like, "We got to do a podcast." Noel wants us
right now, and then we teleported here to the store.
Yep.
And then here we are. So we made it. Hey, Break Nation.
What up, Break Nation?
Noel, when are you getting your ass to town? Huh? When are you getting in today? Man, I feel strange today. I feel sick.
Yeah.
Ate that McDonald's at like midnight, and it's not.
Hey, you shouldn't do that.
It's not good. It's not
I
good. Somebody save me.
I forgot to eat dinner last night.
Good.
I had talked
better.
with a bunch of friends. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get some curry or something," because my friend had curry for dinner. And I was like, "That sounds really good." And then I had another friend who streams Final Fantasy on Twitch ask me to come and do content with them. So I was
Final Fantasy streamer Steven.
I was on a stream last night doing some content.
He's popular. 10 p.m. That's fucked up, dude.
I don't know. That's like usually when locals ends.
No, that's fine. Just no, you can't come to locals. Actually, I forgot to tell you. Sorry, Noel. The event was actually moved to next week. I think we changed most of the. Anyways,
that's tough. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, it's fine, Al. Like I have the setup. Like we film here in the store. I like have cameras to do. It's just like I don't know. It's a lot. It's gonna be like pretty packed in here, and I run the show basically by myself, so I'm not gonna worry about streaming and all that nonsense. Just because it's a headache for me. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. I have the capability, just not the
the wherewithal.
The wherewithal to deal with it and police the stream and all that. Like if we're gonna stream, I really want to put our best foot forward, and it's hard for me to put our best foot forward if I'm working the event, right? Looking forward to playing in it. We are looking forward to seeing you there, Al.
Yeah,
it'll be a good time. Yeah, it's looking medium full. I think right around now, if everybody shows up that's bought a ticket, but also that's on Omnidex that hasn't bought a ticket, so those are a little bit up in the air. I think we're in the 42, 43-ish range, so we might hit the 50 if we get some walk-ins or whatever, but if we do a stream ever, I'm down to commentate. Richie commentatored? He's doing it? Okay, buddy.
That
you might get canceled. I can't do that then.
Yeah,
Rich.
yeah. That second sentence just ruined your whole chance.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, let's put Rich and Audie.
Yeah,
back
it depends.
Here.
I feel like I could trust Rich to not get canceled, but
you put Rich and
Audie.
Yeah,
you put
you put Rich and Audie back
look
here.
At him.
Yeah,
Look at him. He's already trying.
Itching. He's itching to say it.
I just can't. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Yeah, I was just checking if we do locals Friday night, so I wanted to check if you were going to be in the afternoon. Let you know that we do locals tonight. But that's fine. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow.
Hey, Audie.
Channel in the Fab community got canceled. So no joke. Those guys, if we're talking about Saint Tung, you guys love when I talk about drama, I'm sure. That guy's a fucking piece of shit. So a long time coming. That dude's the worst. If we're talking about Flake, that's a different situation. That guy's also kind of a piece of shit. But that one blindsided me. I was like, oh no, I like that guy. It's a shame. But God, that like last week thing, I was like, yeah, of course.
I'm just like confused.
Scum.
Like, I'm very confused, right? Because in the last 3 years,
Yeah.
I think there's like a dozen YouTubers who have been canceled in the fab community.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, what is going on in that community?
It's just
I was always told it's so inclusive and everything, and then all of these people keep getting canceled from it.
Well, so that's kind of the whole point, right? Like the community is very inclusive. So when somebody does not pass the vibe check, they are ousted
Immediately. Okay.
Right.
Understood.
Right. Tea spill channel when I do love tea. I mean, I love the tea, but like that's not our community. Thankfully, like thank you guys for watching. But a lot of people don't watch the they'll like live stream, right? So like this will get cut out of the podcast. Now, I don't want to be like stirring up drama or whatever. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, everybody watch me stir up drama. It's just when it comes across my desk, I do read the tea. I love the tea, but I don't like really engaging in the tea because I'm not like that kind of guy, But I do love the tea. Thank you. It's an Emrage jacket. You can get your Grand Archive Emrage jacket eventually. Yeah. Hopefully with Arisan on it. Make sure.
No, it's gonna be whatever set champion in set 6.
Yeah, maybe.
Surely it's at
Could be
Worlds,
cool,
right?
Yeah. What's that? At Worlds, yeah. Yeah, maybe. It's I sort of assumed that we would see it, but I think that was me just like reading into what Emrage said, because they were like, we have a couple of collaborations that we're going to, announce before the end of the year, and that's true. They did announce it, but I sort of assumed announcement that we would see it, but like, it's reasonable that they're still working on
it. Is Callie on the back of that?
Yeah, Callie's on the back. She's on the lapel. It's this hard, but bigger on my back. She's cute. I've been watching a lot of Narissa Ravencroft lately, so I like kind of want to buy the other one.
Oh, is there a
Which
Narissa
is also
one?
Narissa, yeah.
Nice.
I like Narissa.
Yeah.
A bit subdued. Yeah, I mean, I feel like at least all the Emrage stuff is pretty safe for work. Like none of them are particularly like big anime titty the pilled.
Yeah.
Which is nice. Like the Narissa one's very, very tame. This one's very tame. They make like Honkai Star Rail ones. There's one for Bridget from Guilty Gear, which is sick.
I hope like I know you're into the straps and the tech wear and stuff.
I love the straps.
But I hope the Grand Archive one is a bomber jacket.
They usually do one of each. That's usually how their drops go. Is like they do a racing jacket and then they do one of these. Right. So like the Narissa one doesn't have all the straps. It's a racing jacket, and then this one is the one with the fucking straps on it. Okay. So hopefully we'll get 2 because that would be based, and hopefully it'll be one of each because it's pretty good. Yeah, the Narissa one goes actually really hard. I want it now that I watched Narissa.
Yeah. Well, let Travis have one Oshi. Right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You can't take them
Travis and I have a very, very similar taste. Speaking of which, holy shit. You guys don't want to hear us talk about VTubers. We're going to do the show, I promise. But tonight is the night.
Yeah.
Nimmy Nightmare. Coming out tonight.
And I can only assume she's a taper because of all of the taper art that she's been posting.
Excited. Yeah, we're not getting her full model today. She's doing like a chibi thing because they're still working on her full model, but she just wants to stream because crazy. She likes streaming. Right. This person that we've never met.
Yep. New VTuber.
Yeah, new VTuber, Nimmy Nightmare. Totally new. Or whatever. But yeah, we're very, very excited. Yeah. Very, very excited for Nimmy tonight.
I'm like super excited, especially because like if she's like a taper girl, like I'm here for it.
You're into tapers. Yeah,
they're cute.
She's gonna be edgy for sure.
Right.
I mean, her name's Nimmy Nightmare.
Right. It's like Drowsy, right? Like Drowsy's cute.
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah, we'll see.
All the like the gifs and art she's been posting is super cute.
We have the lovely boys from True Champion Gaming are coming to our regionals tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about our regionals on the show. But they're coming in at like the afternoon, and so I was like, you guys can come to locals. It's at like 6:30. Because of course I would love them to have them at locals. And Caben was like, yeah, I'll let you know if we end up coming by, but we might just like hang out at the Airbnb.
Totally fair, right?
Gonna be traveling or whatever. And it's like it's the double-edged sword, right? Because like of course if the True Champion guys come in, I want to give them a good time and hang out or whatever. But if the true champion guys don't come in, for sure, just throwing up that Nimmy Nightmare.
Yeah, we don't. No round timer. No round timer. Nimmy Nightmare on the TV.
You guys are watching Nimmy Nightmare, so we'll see what.
Sorry for anyone. If there's no Nimmy Nightmare on the TV, sorry for everyone playing me. My phone will be set up on the table with an AirPod in my ear.
We're watching the Nimmy Nightmare. Anyways. Haven't decided on a deck for tomorrow. I love that. You're my king. Noel, you don't have to take my advice, but you should play Wind, Aster, Arisana, because that's the Chad's meta deck. So you can play that. If you want to play it with max rarity, Arisana's in it, you let me know. They're more than welcome to use them. If that encourages you to play the best deck, because she's sick.
I'm sure your whole lineage, right, is foil, right? Even your fractured.
Yeah, it's correct.
Yeah. You just bling it out, right?
This is correct, yeah.
You just play Cam stack. Yeah,
I'm just missing a couple of cursed pieces for my material deck, like the backup charger, which I'm hopefully going to get an invite for. Obviously, I'm not going to earn one because I suck, so I'll buy a backup charger. And then the Cosmic Astroscope that I have to wait for the Judge promo. So, But the rest of it is max rarity. So, not the deck, though. Jesus, I need so many foils. And we'll talk about why I can't buy those foils on the show. Are you ready to do the show, Steven?
Yeah, let's do it.
Shout-outs?
Yeah, there's, what's that guy? Superhuman. Shout-out Superhuman. He's, we're a big fan of your content. If you ever want to collab with us, let us know.
Not true.
Yes, true. Cam is a liar. All right, Cam, over to you. Woo!
Woo, fuck this shit. It's not true that we're a huge fan of his content. We are. It is true. I don't want him on the show. That guy's probably deranged.
Woo, Cam. Woo. Start the show.
All right.
We've already wooed.
That's at the end of the show. Steven, come on. Spoiler video that would go crazy. Yeah, it would be really stupid, and no one would get the joke. They'd be like, "Who? Why is this guy taking his shirt off and jumping through a table?"
No. Surely we have him jump into the air conditioners with barbed wire.
How about that, Steve? How about we just do an homage to Superhuman and we jump into the table full of the barbed wire?
I stubbed my toe the other day and I cried, so I'm good.
Perfect. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Lineage Break, a Grand Archive TCG podcast. I am your host, Cam. With me, as always, is Gloomin, Steven. Hello, Steven.
Hello, Cameron.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Good evening and good night.
Good evening and good night. That's been the show. We'll see you next week. Hey, Steve. How you doing?
It's a Good Friday.
Is it Good Friday?
It's not Good Friday.
Like the religious
No. It is a Good Friday.
But there's only one Good Friday.
Outside. You go outside, it's warm outside.
It is warm outside.
It's a crisp 34 degrees, so we're above freezing.
Yeah, it's fucked. I walked outside. We made it 60 seconds without me using the F word. Monetization. I walked outside to get into Steven's car. And I got in the car and was like, "Damn, it's warm out today." And he was like, "It's 33." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true."
But it has been in the teens the past few days. So.
It's been warped cold. I mean, like, we live in Massachusetts, but like it's been pretty bad. But today it's not so bad. So hopefully all of those that are traveling this weekend.
Yeah, I think most of them are from cold climates though.
Is it gonna be cold tomorrow?
Oh,
hi Tyler.
There is this a giant Arctic front apparently coming in.
Oh, cool.
On the 19th, and it's supposed to last until like the 25th.
Oh, great.
And it's supposed to like negative.
On the 19th, though.
Yeah.
So everybody who is traveling to Massachusetts for Webway Games Massachusetts Regionals, which is tomorrow, 1/18, if you're watching this live, it'll be like, I don't know, 30 degrees, and you'll be fine. Wear a coat. And then on Sunday, we're never going to leave a building because it'll be -5 or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be so like actually massive. Like northern Florida is supposed to get snow.
Ugh.
That's how cold it's supposed to be, like all over the country.
Ugh. Hey, I hate that. But yeah, it's a good day. Good day to be here. We do have our regionals tomorrow, so we're getting locked in for regionals. Should be a good show. We're gonna have some Ascent winners, some Ascent top 8 gamers, all traveling in for Massachusetts regionals. So it's gonna be a good time. Very competitive field. We're happy to host everybody. So yeah, we're excited for that.
Yep.
But we Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say just a good competitive field for our regionals.
Yeah, we love it. Come up to Massachusetts. It's a great time. We try to do our best. So we wanted to talk a little bit about Alter. We said last week that we wanted to talk about the ALC Alter release as it did come out day of recording last week, but it's been out for a week. And so we want to talk a little bit about the sort of implications of the cards in the set. Also, I want to talk about the set itself a little bit, which is not what we expected to be talking about today, but we have to
address some quality issues.
Well, we have to nix all of the sycophant accusations, and bring attention to things that are bad. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about Alter as a set with the cards in it. Yeah. I'm a little shocked, Steven.
Yeah.
I assumed that there would be a bigger splash, not necessarily with different cards. I think like a lot of the cards in Alter are cool. Like Tenoris support is neat. New Polcock is cool. But like those aren't gonna be winning regionals. But something that's very strange from the 3 regional events that we had last weekend, a lot of water decks. That's crazy. I know.
Yeah, turns out that frozen dismissal card real good.
But yeah, so lots of frozen dismissals making an appearance. Hey, that card's crazy. Who would have thought? But the thing that I found pretty shocking is that like 95% of the Guardian decks that made top appearances at regionals were still the Sylvie Nico deck, and like nobody was playing Nico level 1.
Right.
So I think that card's like really strong.
Yeah, I think Nico level 1's great, but
Strange.
they were indeed using that new material deck slot.
Yeah, Temptations Facade. Yeah, saw a lot of play this weekend. Frozen Dismissal, like you said.
Yeah. That deck. I think those 2 cards alone just make the Nico deck much better than it was.
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of Nico, but yeah, so surprisingly, not a lot of Nico level 1s. People still holding on to that Seaside Ringleader, Tidestone Bovine sort of package of tamer cards to get through your level 1. But I really assumed that being able to get cards like Mage Vein and Vapor Jet Shield and stuff at level 1 without having to go to level 2 is going to be like a pretty big boon. Because obviously Nico level 1's like effect is fine. It basically refunds itself. But I assumed that being level 1 Guardian sooner would have more of an effect. But it seems like people are
it's
sticking
not
to
only
Sylvie.
level 1, but having the Nico.
Nico
right?
Bonus for Mage Vein, yeah.
Right, like that. I would assume, or I assumed the same with you, that would have been like a huge boon for the deck. But maybe it's just untested enough.
Who knows? Yeah, I mean, it's only been a week, but I did find that kind of surprising. We also have seen a, I wouldn't say like significant upswing, but an amount of additional Wind, Astra, Arisana decks making top cut. She did get a couple of new tools in Horticounter most specifically, and also Dawn's Reversal, giving her a little bit of reach in the end game when she has a hard time killing you with Cosmic Bolts. I played a game against a Nico player this week. He knows who he is. Where I got my Polaris freezing, steeled, and fracturized, which, we love that. And I won that game because there is now enough damage in your deck that you don't necessarily, obviously it sucks, but you don't necessarily have to put all those bolts into your Aster deck. I won the good old-fashioned way by the Lunar Conduit dealing a bunch of damage and casting like 2 bolts, the ones that are in my main deck.
That's cool.
So yeah, that is cool. Shout out. Ari's a good deck. You should all play it. It's pretty neat. Yeah. So that's how Alter's been looking. Not unsurprisingly, but sadly, no big standouts from any of the new cards. No Vanitas decks cropping up quite yet. No Polcock decks cropping up. Foster Allies hasn't made an appearance.
I think it was too late for Foster Allies to be a real deck, unfortunately, especially with the printing of Frozen Dismissal, right?
Yeah, that does hurt, yeah.
I think any Allies deck right now is probably hurting pretty bad because Allies decks are notorious for not keeping a big influence and it's hard to pay for when you're putting your game piece in play, and they just go, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll talk a tad about Abyssal Heaven later today. Oh boy. But I'm sort of under the impression I think we're going to get some like truly busted allies in HVN.
Yeah.
Because like Polaris is a new card. I know everybody's sick of me materializing my Polaris, but it's a new card. So it's only been out for a couple months. No.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess it was pre-AMB, so a few months. But Polaris is a new card. Frozen Dismissal, obviously a very new card, and both like really damning cards for allies. And currently, if you're not playing ally type slime, your allies are like pretty bad. And so I think if we're printing all these like really strong allies tools, it is to set us up for some really strong allies coming in the future, because Slimes basically is the only allies deck right now that is playing like truly powerful allies that are sort of like must counters with Frozen Dismissal.
Right. And honestly, I think like Frozen Dismissal probably just like really hurts Slimes.
Yeah, I think Slimes is in an extremely tough spot. Yeah. Like it has a hard time already into the Polaris decks, but it's like it's playable, right? Because you have Gaia's Blessing, so like yes, they're gonna Polaris and like 3-for-1 you, but then you should get to like play Slimes off the top of your deck. But yeah, Frozen Dismissal like really locks Spirit of Slime specifically out of a lot of games, because the like Hanky Special Fire Slimes deck can sometimes like build enough influence to be able to pay through Frozen Dismissal or whatever. But it's so often that you're playing Slimes and you put down your Dungeon Guide, you have like at that point maybe 4 cards in hand, which is great because you can pay to let your Dungeon Guide through or whatever. Your Dungeon Guide resolves, you have your 4 cards in hand, you play your Slime for free out of your hand. And then you have 3 cards in hand, you get shit on by a Frozen Dismissal. Right. So it's a really tough spot to be in for the allies deck. So I assume Goja, but maybe some other support as well. We'll see some pretty strong allies coming in.
Yeah,
the future.
I would love. We've talked about. I think I've talked about it before in the show, where I would love cards to be printed that said this card like uncounterable.
Yeah.
Because with the uptick of how many counterspells we've been getting in the last few months, it feels really bad to just get hate countered out of the game.
Yeah, I think there's room for it for sure. I think it's a sort of like facet of the game that they haven't interacted with yet, but I don't think that that's necessarily going to remain the case. They're Magic players, obviously. We know that Weebs of the Shore crazy is maybe an ancillary to Wizards of the Coast, and so I'm sure they're aware of things like that being sort of impactful, and yeah, especially with negation becoming more prevalent but also stronger in the metagame. I think we will have to see some of that. I would be, I think, more obviously I'm an Astro player, but please try to put that aside when I say this. I think I would be like way more interested in cards that are sort of like protection from X or whatever. Not in the way that it works in Magic, but I think it would be cool to have cards that shut off cards like Frozen Dismissal that are like accessible the whole game, which is pretty punishing. But it feels pretty bad as an Astro player to get your your hard counters shut off, because then that deck sucks. So I hope that we could find like a happy middle ground to get around cards like Frozen Dismissal that do seem very punishing. Now for the allies decks is even like the reason why that card's so crazy is like surely it's bad in some matchups. However, like most of those matchups, like it's bad into Windari. But it's a Dungeon Guide deck, and you can sometimes just hold them hostage like you would with a Stifling Trap from being able to cast their Dungeon Guide. Because having 4 cards in it is a lot. Yeah. So... So I agree that I hope that we see some. I think Noel in the chat makes a good point that I think a good place to put that is on these like big end game allies that hopefully Goja gets access to, like Crawl or whatever. Your should have been. This card cannot be negated.
Your Majestic Spirits, your Mark 3s.
Yeah, and like Majestic Spirit is a great example where it's got some like. Steps in place to get around cards like Frozen Dismissal, which I think is interesting design. So, and even we see like Illuminating Charge having been printed for Gojo. We'll see if that card ends up being playable, but that's another way to like sort of get around negation for allies, which I think is really smart. So we'll see what their But their plan is to
a
combat
lot of cards,
negations.
cheat things into play would be cool too.
Yeah. I like cheating.
Yeah, me too.
I've said a couple of times, I don't want to go on like a long rant. I usually do this in person so that you guys don't have to deal with it on the internet. But I like powerful cards. I'm a person that likes powerful things, and so I know that sometimes in Grand Archive people can get discouraged or sort of tired of certain strategies. I know that Icebound Slam, dubbed by True Champion Gaming as IBS, which I like a lot. Just start calling it IBS. Has got some people down, and it's now been shifted to Category 1 on the most recent ban list. But I don't think that the solution is always to ban powerful cards. I think that this is a game that's always been full of powerful cards, and in the history of the game, there's always been decks doing powerful things, and I hope that it stays that way. I hope that we don't sort of like tone the game down to be this like very muted 2-3 ally-based slugfest like it was sometimes in DOA, because I think the coolest parts about Grand Archive are the very powerful cards that you can play. So that's my hot take. Speaking of hot takes, now that I've defended Grand Archive, we got our Alter product in hand, Steve.
I have not opened much, but I have seen the cards.
And you're going to be opening some. Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Ooh. Keep an eye on the channel. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
There's some issues. That maybe I'm sure you guys have seen pictures. I'm sure you guys have maybe touched Alter cards. So Alter cards have this problem. I was thinking about getting up to grab some on camera, but you won't be able to tell. Which is it's an odd one, and I had hoped it was just like our shipment of Alter, but it seems like most people that I've seen post have this issue. And I don't want to say it's that the cards are curling, because they're not really, but they are
warping.
They're like curved already. It's not like it's like you open a new pack of Magic cards, right? And they're flat as a board, and then you put them on the table for 15 seconds and they turn into taquitos, right? It's not that. It's like you open them out of the pack and they have this like curve to them that's not like extremely noticeable, but it's enough that if you press the center of the card, it pops, like it'll pop back and forth because it's got a bit of a curve in the center. But it's on all of the cards. It's not even just foils. It's on all of them, like straight out of the pack. They have this like weird popping issue. And I've seen some people that have foils that are like a little bit worse. I think that that's probably not always the case. Like any of the foils that I saw, at least anecdotally this weekend, were about the same as the normal ones, but they do all have that like strange popping issue.
Which is fine once you put it in a sleeve, but it's
yeah, I mean, like,
it's disheartening when you spend the amount of money people spend on the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's this sort of like a meteoric issue if it's for the right reasons. I think, if that makes sense. Like Steve said, I think 99% of these cards you'll be able to put in a sleeve, especially if it's double sleeve, and then you won't be able to tell. So it's not going to the curve does not seem as aggressive as something like the SP foils, right, that are like really curved and hard to play sometimes in a competitive deck. But it is worrisome if it's not for the right reasons. We haven't gotten any like official word from the company yet, so I don't want to like put words in their mouth or whatever. I don't work for them until they hire me. But if this is a mistake, and things just the thing about weebs is that they're always sort of iterating, right? Like they're always trying to perfect their craft, and so we've seen like somewhere along the way, it's like things change either intentionally or unintentionally. We saw that with like the it was the A and B foils that were really dark, right, which was just like a color correction issue because they're trying to perfect their craft. They're a new company, they're a small company. That is totally reasonable. I have no qualms about that. But I'm hoping that this is a this didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to, and we're gonna fix it for the future, and not a this is the way that we've been making cards has been too expensive, and now we have to scale back a little bit.
Right.
And I have to assume it's the former. They're not the type of people that would be making that sort of conscious decision. So I assume this is sort of a mistake. And that's okay. Mistakes happen. One thing that I do want to quell is a lot of people are like pointing to this issue and they're like, it's because the card stock's thinner or something. That I think has actually officially been debunked. According to Celadar, there's like I think it's like a 7%-ish, or it's a 4%, either plus or minus in like card thickness that just happens the way that they do their manufacturing process, and that's usually imperceptible to the human eye. It's 4% of a card that's this fucking big.
Right.
And also I think it's the same for weight. There's like a 7%-ish give and take on card weight. So that one's not like super concerning, but yeah, this popping issue is tough. I can't say that I'm thrilled as somebody that is missing a bunch of like astrofoils, and I was like, oh, Alter's coming out, and I want to like buy all the astrofoils because they're going to be an Alter, and so they'll be a little bit more abundant. But now I'm like a little concerned because they're like a little bit warped, and do I want to buy those little bit warped foils? Because foils are a lot of money,
especially especially now.
Yeah, those Alter exclusive foils are going for insane prices. I've seen a couple of Horta counters posted online for $150 or something. If you look at the TCG player foil prices for
Alter.
ALC Alter, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody's got I think it's a Gale Stream Insight up for $75. And that's
Sweet.
just like turbo bad foil rare,
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so we're gonna keep an eye on it. Hopefully we get an official word from the company. I think that would quell a lot of people's sort of issues with it if we got some sort of, hey, sorry, we made a mistake. And the nice thing about Alter is that since it's being sort of printed in perpetuity for at least the next few years, if we assume it's like DOA Alter, which did get a announced closure date, like when it came out, that in 2025 they'll stop printing DOA Alter, but I don't think we got one of those for ALC Alter, so I don't know exactly how long it'll be in print, but if it is printed in multiple ways, hopefully this will be fixed for future waves. Or maybe it's already fixed for future waves, and this one just had some sort of exterior issues that were applied to it, and this wave just has this
weird
issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, mistakes happen. We're not like uber upset, but it is something that's worth noting.
Yep. To err is human.
Yeah. But on a more positive note, one other thing that I saw about this, which I find interesting, and I would like to bring up to you, Stephen, keep you in the dark so I can get your unfettered opinion on the matter. Silidar, hi Sil, did confirm, did some chatting. He was in, I don't know, I think it was Merlin's or one of the Discords doing some chatting. And he confirmed when people were talking about this ALC Alter problem, that ALC Alter is not the new foiling process. So regardless of this, which I think unknown curling issue, because like even pre-AMB cards weren't curled out of the box.
No.
Like sure they were regular foils, so sometimes they would curl because they're regular foil cards, but they weren't like this. So unrelated. ALC Alter is not the new foiling process, so it doesn't have that non-curving foil thing, which I think probably, if it did, would mean the regular cards would have this issue, and then the foil cards would probably be flat, which would be very strange. But since it does not have the new foiling process, they all sort of find that curve. And that makes sense, because ALC Alter is out now, and it's AMB forward is being printed with the new foiling process, and that was confirmed as well, that HUN will be the new foiling process. Everything going forward will be the new foiling process. But the interesting part about that, which I think gives us some insight into the Weaves of the Shore pipeline, is that ALC Alter seems to have been printed before AMB, because it was AMB forward, right? So ALC Alter printed before AMB. And also announces that MRC Alter will also not have the new foiling process. Which assumes, unless they're like switching back and forth, which is possible, I don't know what the pipeline is, but I would assume once they start doing the new foiling, it's harder for them to go backwards. So they're just printing everything with the new foiling, which means, theoretically, ALC Alter has been printed for a long time, which means that the design pipeline is sort of pushed back. And I think that's an interesting thing to think about, that if ALC Alter was printed before AMB, and if we use that same metric to assume that MRC Alter is already printed because it is not using the new foiling process and it's just like sitting in the warehouse ready for launch, that also assumes that all of these cards were designed like a really long time ago, which is not what I assumed. I assumed that things were like sort of designed in sequence of release, but perhaps the MRC cards and these AMB cards were designed before this even like entire AMB like metagame was sort of discovered, right? They were maybe designed 9 months ago, a year ago.
Yeah, that would make sense to me, I think.
Which I think is very interesting insight into the
maybe
the pipeline.
Maybe these cards were designed after the initial reactions to the slime deck, because I could see a lot of these cards being good into the slime deck and into the Tristan deck.
Yeah, like frozen dismissals.
And hoarder counters. And
yeah,
I could see them designing that, like going back and redesigning stuff specifically to deal with the complaints of the player base, right? Like, it's like, oh man, this deck is so hard. Or this, slimes are so good. They're so broken. Storm slime's so good. It's like, well, how about you pay 4 more for that storm slime?
Right.
So I could see them like, around the time of Worlds, maybe designing these cards and then getting them printed up. Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's insane if we trust the Weebs team, and I do. Whenever they've talked about it. They said that so far, at least in the game's history, they haven't really been like blindsided by any of these meta decks. It's not like the Magic developers that don't know what they're doing. So like obviously they're designing with a future meta in mind, just one that the players actually haven't touched, which I find pretty interesting, because I just assumed that our sort of schedule was also the design schedule. Like obviously things are made far in advance. It's not like these AMB cards were made yesterday and then they printed them. But I did sort of assume that they were designed in sequence, but I just found it interesting to muse that perhaps ALC and MRC Alter cards were designed a long time ago, and they're already out and printed, and they're just sitting in a warehouse ready to be released in a few months for MRC. And so I'm really I think we're close enough, right, with ALC Alter to the assumed time that it was designed that, like you said, all these cards still make sense. But I really wonder how the MRC cards will land, because they're landing not only after AMB but after HVN. So we'll be in like a basically distinctly new format from when MRC was initially released. And if those cards were already designed, I'm curious how they'll land. Right. Because they're all obviously going to be designed for those archetypes: Slimes, Tristan, and then the ALC heroes. So I think that is interesting. Also, I guess it's not confirmed that we're getting new cards in MRC. Maybe we're just not, and then it's fine,
matter. Right? Maybe ALC was like a special thing,
right?
But I would hope that moving forward, that whenever we get an alter, it has 10 to 15, 20 extra new cards.
I think this is super exciting. We can pivot back to our sycophant roots. Where as a person playing the game, I think it is like truly awesome that right now, like we have our regionals tomorrow. There's a whole bunch of regionals, and last week, but in the next few weeks as well, where like AMB's been out for a long time, and so this is usually like, remember the end of the MRC format, and we were all just like guns to our heads, going into a room full of slimes.
Right.
It's super cool to get this, like, even though like we said, it hasn't made this like huge meteoric shift, there are new things to discover and like new deck archetypes, and I'm like not unconvinced that there's some like Vanitas deck out there that's going to pop up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, honestly, we have a local player that's been playing it, and it's
good.
Scary.
Yeah.
It's scary sometimes.
Right.
Like, I went from 0 to 25 in a turn, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that you could do that.
No spoilers. But I think it's super cool to get this like refresh of the meta, because like if you look at your wrist, HVN's like 6 weeks from now.
Yeah,
it's like really close actually. Like we have a new set in 6 weeks, and obviously it feels like we just got a new set last week because we have these new 20 cards to care about.
Right.
We just we got that fun time here at the store where all of our locals sit down and rip a bunch of boxes, and So yeah, it's super cool. I hope that they continue to do this. I think it's a great way to incentivize in-franchise players to buy product, because the game is still growing, and I can say we didn't get a metric ton of ALC here at the store, but we got like 30-ish boxes, and I'm sold out. But none of that was to new players, which is like bad, sure, because I would like it to be to new players. I'll get some more, hopefully. It's alter printing, right? But it does show that there is some want there from the enfranchised players to get their hands on the new cards, try to snipe some of those new UR arts and foil and stuff like that. Yeah. So, I think it's really cool. I think Alter is a really great idea, and we're enjoying it. I like the new Astro cards because I like playing the Astro deck. God.
I am unimpressed with the card that I was most looking forward to, which is Refabrication. I don't know if it's just the decks that I've been playing or trying to play with it, but it feels not great.
I don't know. Hey, Pora, is that card good? He can't tell us. Yeah. It's not allowed. I want to circle back to something that was said in chat.
Oh.
By our glorious leader of Merlin's Marketplace, Mitchell Irwin. Hello, Mitchell. How are you? Mitchell asks, what power level do y'all think HVN Recollections will be? And I think this is a great transition to talk a little bit about HVN. We, as we said, we're about 6 weeks out, and I want to put my foot down on, we love making predictions. Anyways, I think with just 6 weeks before the set comes out-ish, and now announced that Ascent Melbourne will be the world premiere for HVN, so we have to assume maybe similar to the world premiere at Worlds, where they'll have the big wall of cards, people will play with the recollection decks, the whole set will be revealed at Melbourne. Sorry. That means we lost another week. So essentially, the set will be released on the 1st, right? When we'll see all the sets, all the cards at the world premiere, which means spoiler season has to be coming soon. We can tell you anecdotally, we do not have any spoiler cards. And so, I think Silidar said in chat last week, here on the show,
correct,
that spoiler season would be after
Design Notes.
And so,
we could make the assumption that Design Notes will be revealed at Utrecht, which is our next big event.
Yeah, I think so.
But because, hence, we need time for, spoiler season.
Right.
And that usually is 4 weeks before we get the full set.
Yeah.
So Melbourne, and then probably start seeing spoilers go out after Melbourne, after Design Notes.
Utrecht.
Utrecht. Yeah, not Melbourne. Melbourne's, yeah. We'll have the set by then.
So yeah, I think Utrecht will get the Design Notes, and that's in a couple of weeks. That's by a couple of weeks, I mean next week.
Yeah, it's next week.
That's 7 days from tomorrow. So hopefully, not next podcast, I guess, but the podcast after that, we'll have some spicy Design Notes to talk about. Anyways, let's talk about recollection decks. Steven, I made some predictions on the internet about what Dao Chan would do. Thank you all for engaging with that tweet. It did huge numbers for no reason, because people like me saying things that are clearly wrong. And I do want to point out, both to the Weebs team that can trust me, and you, the people, everybody when I posted that were like, he's got insider information. He knows. I was so wrong. Just unequivocally incorrect about everything that I said.
Yeah.
Because we've now seen Dao Chen's level 3.
Yeah. However, what we're bearing the lead on is that when we were talking about the melodies and the harmonies, we actually meant it was supposed to be Goja that's going to do that.
Yeah, that's what we meant.
We meant that Goja is going to do that.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Cam, tell us all about your new wife.
Oh my gosh, so hot. And man, what a card art.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but you should go onto Twitter and find anyone that has posted it.
It's gorgeous. It's on the official Grand Archive
God.
Twitter. You can find them at Grand Archive TCG on Twitter. Sorry, on X.com.
Yeah. God, man. Like I say it every time I see a new CSR from this game or CR from this game. But they just get better every time.
I think this is the best one. No meme. I think this is the best CR that we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, so far, maybe their level 1 goes crazy, but this absolutely gorgeous art by our king, Pinax. Thank you, Pinax, for being such a talented person. Please come to Worlds. I beg you. I beg you. This may be your last time to see Anaheim before it burns to the ground. So please show up to Worlds so I can get all my things signed. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous art by Pinax. And she's got text, which we can talk about her text. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But we can make some assumptions.
There's a lot of keywords here.
We like making assumptions, and we can assume what her card does. So, what Dao Chan says, I'm gonna try to do it from memory, even though the card's right over there.
Mm-hmm. No, this is for me.
Dao Chan, Idle Corsage.
That is correct.
Dao Chan Lineage.
Correct.
Level 3 Terra.
Correct.
She says, on enter. Yeah, there we go. She's covered his phone. On enter, you may put a wither counter on any number. Obviously, it's not going to be the exact.
I thought we were word for wording this.
Literally can't.
Okay.
On enter, you may put a wither counter on any number of non-champion objects. Yep. What does that mean? And then she has a second line of text that says, anytime a non-champion object your opponents control is destroyed, you put a flower bud token into play under their control. However, it's worded in Grand Archive.
Close. It's a little bit different. So the actual text for that is whenever a non-token object.
Yeah.
Doesn't say champion.
I said object.
You said
non-champion object. Yeah, sorry. If you blow up their champion, sure. That's
token object
sure.
an opponent controls is destroyed. You may banish it. If you do, make a flower bud token.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, every time you blow one of their things up, you can banish it, and if you do, you make flower bud.
Yep.
Man, what does any of this mean? First of all, I just want to say, flavor is cool. I'm a big fan of flavor, and I made a post in one of the Discords, probably Maryland's, because that's where I do all my shit posting. Where I was like, I think champion individuality is really neat, and somebody was like, "Are you being sarcastic?" I was like, "No, I like really think that champion individuality is really cool." This is part of the reason why I'm so upset about the like Kong Ming Merlin thing, is because I think like champions doing the thing that their champion does is the coolest part about these like hero driven card games, this one and any of the other ones, where like I want my champion to do a thing that only my champion does. I don't want it to be like Lorraine is a perfect example. Like Lorraine gets sword back at level 3, and it's like, yeah, but like anybody can play swords. Right. It's not Lorraine doing a Lorraine thing. She's just like vaguely class identity to warrior, right? And I understand she's old and a pillar of the game. I'm not trying to make fun of Lorraine, but I think it's really cool when we like sort of drill down and do these very champion specific things. Obviously, I'm a huge Arisana fan because all of the Arisana mechanics are just Arisana's mechanics. I think that's really cool with like Diana as well. Anybody that just like, I do my thing and nobody else can do my thing because this is my thing. And so that seems to be what Dao Chan's going to be doing. She's got this sort of flower theme. Obviously, her level 3 name is Idle Corsage. She's got so much like flower iconography on the art and in a lot of her cards. And so we have this idea of these withering plants that are then reborn into flower bud tokens, and that sort of fits with that Terra theme as well. So I think that the flavor is an absolute win. Sick flavor. She's super cool. Obviously, we don't know what she does. I think we can make some assumptions her being a cleric, which is typically a slower class and a little bit more controlling, and the way that this card is worded really does lean her towards that control game style. My very much assumption on what these tokens do, obviously we won't see until next week. No, I don't have any insider info. Is that wither tokens that you put, assumingly only on your opponent's stuff, even though you're allowed to put it on your stuff. After some amount of time, destroys that object. It'll be like at the end of the controller's next turn, or maybe it's, some sort of tracking mechanic, which I think would probably be annoying. So I assume it's some sort of stop. It says, hey, at the end of your next turn, if it has a wither token, it blows up, or maybe you can pay some amount of resources to remove it, right? It's like the end of the controller's next turn, this is destroyed unless they pay 2 or something. Right. Some way to give a sort of ticking clock to these plants that are dying and withering. And then when they blow up, they make this flower bud token, and I have to assume that either on the token itself or through Dao Chan's card pool, these flower bud tokens will be the way that she kills you. Some, sort of burning mechanic or something. Maybe at the beginning of your recollection, they ping you or something for each flower bud you have. Which sounds sick. I'm just so super into it, and I can
I'm
see where they're going with it.
I'm actually super super excited on her.
She's very cool.
I love these keywords. I love she's a supposed villain.
Yeah,
based
she's
off
evil
the
for
world's
sure.
art. And then she's just so beautiful with the bright flowers and bright colors. I just gotta hope that most of her cards stay like that, right?
Yeah, she's got that sort of a succubus vibe, right? And I think that's accurate to her her Three Kingdoms lore as well. She's so beautiful that she lures people into making bad decisions, right? She, in the book at least, she convinces Lu Bu to assassinate Dongzhou because some alleged bad things that Dongzhou did to Dao Chen that were fake. She manipulates people because she's so hot.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So she is evil, but yeah, she's got that sort of pretty flowery vibe, even though she's very much doing evil things and persuading you to do evil things is pretty cool. So I think she's sick. I hope that is what her mechanic does, because I really, really like scaling late game control champions.
Yeah.
Crazy. Who would have thought that me, the Merlin hater, likes scaling late game champions?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very interested in playing her. I think she's cool. Hopefully, because she is
hot,
Terra and
hot
stuff. We get some good crossover stuff for Terra.
Yeah, I hope so. I am. I will say, obviously, we don't know the rest of her lineage, but Grand Archive, at least as of late, has done a really good job of sort of making champions feel holistic, which. We talked about a long time ago on the show. Some other champions we felt less so about, but I think lately they've done a really, really good job about making champion lineages feel like a complete transformation. And so I assume that this is sort of going to be Dao Chan's theme. So maybe her level 1 or 2 sort of set up this theme, right? Maybe they make wither tokens in a lesser amount, or they give you some sort of exchange for this Terra mechanic that she has going on here. But the part that I find really strange about that is that she, at least on her card, does not have any mention of Empower, which was the part that I was firmly convinced
she was going to be empowered.
That she would, just because of Yudi, right? Which is her card. She's on the card. It is her element. It is cleric class bonus, and mage, I think, class bonus. But whatever, has text on it. Is that card class bonus? I think it is. Anyways. That does sort of require you to empower to get this sort of thorny prison effect going on, which she doesn't seem to interact with at all. So I'm really interested where they go with their card pool.
Maybe flower bud tokens.
Maybe they empower. Yeah.
Maybe you can sack to empower one.
Sure. So but they're under your opponent's control, so I don't know.
Are they?
I think so.
No, it just
does
says,
it not say?
No, it summons a flower.
Under your control. That's interesting. I assumed it gave it to them. No. I misread card.
Yeah, no. So maybe
interesting.
So maybe you just, your kill turn, right? You level up to 3. You put wither on everything on the field.
Yeah,
your stuff, their stuff.
Oh, true.
And then they tick off. They all kill it.
Well, sort of. You don't want to blow up your own stuff, right? Because you only get flower buds when their stuff blows up. You can wither your own stuff, but you only get flower buds when their stuff dies.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you wither all the
I
stuff
assume on
they
purpose.
have, right?
Yeah.
It all dies.
Right.
You get a bunch of flower buds. They all say empower 2 or something. You pop them all, and then you play, fireball or something.
I think in my heart of hearts, this is not my prediction, but this is what I want this to do. I want flower buds to have actually no text. I want them to be full art,
beautiful
flower
cards.
buds, and I want them to have actually zero text.
And then have cards that do something.
Yeah, that care about flower buds, which I think is so cool.
Right.
I'm like really, really into those. Yeah, like sort of mechanics that rely on other permanents. I think are really cool because they're usually really powerful, right? But they're very specific,
right.
And that's what I'm into. So maybe read the card just one more time. One more time from the top. I think Theo's behind. He was, I've read it now.
Yeah.
But
Choose any amount of non-champion objects. Put a wither counter on each of them.
So it's yours or theirs.
Whenever a non-token object opponent controls is destroyed,
So only their stuff.
you may banish it.
Yeah.
If you do, that player summons a flower bud.
I am smart.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
am smart. I can read. I read the
yep.
first time. You, Steven. You damned me.
I read wrong.
You damned me, Steven.
I read wrong.
Yeah, so you give
My
it to,
brain work
You
wrong,
give it to
sorry.
them. Yeah, you give it to them. So I assume it's some sort of detrimental mechanic for them.
So maybe similar to like a creeping torment that you just
Yep.
keep giving to them, and then you play something that says,
However, same deal. I hope that they have no text. That's my hope of hopes.
yeah. So you give them all to them, and then you say, I play Evergarden, and for each flower bud you have, it blooms and you die.
Yeah, think about like Burst Asunder or whatever, right? I want like Burst Asunder effects that are on flower buds.
Yeah.
So exactly, yeah. The flowers bloom and you destroy them, and for each one destroyed, you lightning bolt them, right? Would be so cool.
Yeah, I would be super
So
into that.
cool. So, please, can't wait. Please tell me, please. Can I have that?
Yeah, that's
They'll show us in the design notes, so I don't want that as our spoiler, but I really want to know
yeah.
what those fucking tokens do, man.
It'd be so funny if they gave us the
cool.
flower bud. And it literally is exactly what you said. It's a full out flower picture, no text.
It'd be so cool,
like,
though. I think
here's your spoiler.
Yeah, I think she's like super cool. And people thought that I was memeing, and it's
Right.
tough because like they know that I love this game and I love the dev team so much, but I'm like not like feigning excitement. I'm like legitimately super excited, even though this card has no text.
Yeah.
Which like there must be something wrong with me, I guess. Is
I don't think so, because like aesthetically, I'm
so cool, man.
I'm very into this card.
She's so
and
cool.
like I say it a lot, right? Like I'm like, ooh, we're gonna play it. But like I actually think this is the first time the text of a card has like interested me
yeah.
more than just like, oh, I like that card.
Yeah, I like that pretty girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's so cool, man. Please, can't wait to see what she does, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we only have to wait another week to see.
Yeah.
Because obviously, when they do the design notes, I assume we'll learn what
full
the
image.
champions do.
Yeah.
Because we sort of need that context,
Right.
for any of the spoiler cards.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So, I think that's all we have for the show. If you guys think you know what Wither and Flower Bud tokens do, let us know in the comments. By the time you see this, and there is comments, maybe you'll know already. But let us know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, we wish everybody luck that's playing in regionals this weekend. Our own regionals is tomorrow, so if you guys are in the area, come down to our regionals. Also, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in California. I made a shitty joke about Anaheim earlier, but it's terrible what's happening over there. We have lots of friends over
Hopefully
there, so.
everyone that's over there is safe. Our friends and everyone else included. Like, it's a real tough time. Support your neighbors.
Right, of course. So that's all we have for you guys this week. We will see you next week. We'll be back here. We'll talk all about our regional and how all of those things went here at our regionals, and maybe we'll have some more data to go over, and we'll talk about that with you next week. So we will see you here, same bat time, same bat channel. You can find us here live every Friday noon Eastern Standard Time.
Asterisk.
You can find the previous episode of the podcast every Friday 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Asterisk.
Those will be updated by the end of the week. They're already scheduled. And then we have some other stuff that we're going to work on this week that maybe you'll see soonish. Maybe.
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, guys. Woo!
Cleric version of Merlin win. I mean,
Never.
like, Merlin's fine in theory. She's just too good, right? Like, Merlin, as a scalable champion, I have no problems with. I really like scalable champions. She just scales way harder than she should.
Yeah. I do want to point out that we are not joking. I have scheduled every episode that we currently have backlogged for next week. One will come out Monday, one will come out Wednesday, and then this episode will be scheduled for next Friday. So we are up to date, and moving forward perpetually, we'll always have an episode on Friday of the last week.
Yeah, probably. I'm not doing it, so that means it'll probably happen.
No. As long as a video is updated or uploaded, we will in perpetuity always be on time with our stuff now.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah. Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
We're very excited for Dao-chan. We hope that you are too. Dao-chan's sick. Theo, what does she do? Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me what those tokens do.
Yeah, Theo, DM us.
Theo.
Come on.
No, you just type in the chat.
Yeah. Tell everyone.
Let everybody know. What do they do? Come on, please. I beg you. I forgot what it was like, you know? I was excited for Kongming. However, I wasn't excited for Kongming, you know?
Can I have, like... I don't need to know the text, right?
I do.
Can I just have, like, a high-res picture of her art on her CSR so I can make my phone background better?
I don't give the high res to anybody.
Well, or like a higher res than I have.
They're all like locked on Solidar's computer or something.
I have it zoomed in of the sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have something better than that?
For every flower bud you have, you get higher and higher. Yeah, there we go. So like that's the thing though, right? We're always coming back to me being a Merlin hater, but at least this is not Merlin's class, right? So there's a reason to play Dao-chan if she's a scalable champion.
Right.
Is that like I see a world where these flower bud tokens like give you a similar amount of scaling to Merlin. But like look how hard she has to work for them. She has to blow up your opponent's objects in order to scale.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe.
That's the problem that I have with stupid old Merlin. She just does it for free. She's level up and she's like, all right, if I sit here, I'm going to win the game.
So,
you know?
in my
I like having to take actions to get power level.
I hope Wither does what you say, and it destroys stuff after an amount of time. However, I hope there are cards that increase that amount of time.
Sure.
You know? So, or other thought.
Yeah.
Have cards that add more Wither counters.
Sure. Yeah, maybe it's a scalable thing. I think that, like, it's important that your opponent has interaction. Like, obviously, I'm thrilled to have Cleric be broken or whatever. That's not true. I'm actually so upset that people keep telling me how good my deck is. But
I don't know why. She was so bad for so long.
Yeah, whatever, you know. No, she's great. I said something yesterday. I played, like, 18, 20 games of Water Arisana yesterday. Because it was helping friends practice, not because I enjoy playing that deck. I in fact hate it. But I said some that I would do some unspeakable things if like Water Arisana as she existed, but Astra was still bad, right? I would be like molding into oblivion. However, Astra's like really good, so like I have no complaints. So I'm glad Water already exists. It's not for me. But I am glad my champion's good. I'm not being a complainer. Anyways, I'm happy if Dao-chan's good. I think it is important. I think one of the important tenets of Grand Archive is that most things are interactable. And I think that's why so many people have problems with like polar fractal depths because there's not a whole lot of interaction for it right now. So I think it's really important that things are interactable. So I hope that Wither is either like really powerful, like we said on the show, but your opponent has a like agency to get out of it, or it's like you just said, like very slow scaling. You know, it's like if something has 3 Wither tokens, you blow it up, so it's like takes a long time for you to be able to like
get there.
Yeah, inch those things up. So it's not like you're not like playing against Diana and you're like, I'll level to 3 with this dungeon guide. I'll put Wither tokens on your bullets in your gun. At the end of your next turn, you lose them forever. You know, like feels pretty bad.
But I the whole 3 thing sounds cool because then you can set up the turn when you go to 3.
Right.
To like, hey, you have 2 on everything.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll level to 3. I'll put the 3rd on everything. Everything dies.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll scale into the non-advanced element cards. I don't know. It's an interesting thought. Because there's like 100% it could go either way, right? Because you think about like Kongming is a great example, where all of her, or I guess no, Kongming's not a good example. Give me a.
It would be Diana, right? Like,
I'm thinking. No, I got it. It's in my brain somewhere. Jin, we found it. Jin's a great example. Where all of Jin's stuff that forward his game plan, like all of them, they're all Exia cards, right? So like none of the cards that Jin plays in the early game are like Jin deal myself damage for reward sort of cards. Those do exist in Fire, but they're not designed for this like Jin strategy, right? They're all at Exia. Whereas you have something like Garisana, right, that has this like whole herb theme that now is sort of connected, but this whole herb theme that carries through her level 1, 2, 3. So like it's for me a complete crapshoot whether Wither Flower Buds is only a Terra thing or if it's Dao Chen's whole identity and she does it all the way up.
I would hope that she does.
Because she could just do something completely different for level 1 and 2, sort of like Ari does, and then unlocks this whole star calling thing with her level 3.
Right.
You know?
I would hope it's all the way up.
Yeah.
That she does Wither stuff all the way up, but doesn't do Flower Buds.
Yeah, until
she's Terra.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you want the payoff.
Right.
Yeah. No,
because
I get you.
You have to think about it, right? Like it has to be inclusive. Like the what she does has to just like stay in just the recollection deck without outside stuff. Right. So I would assume that everything is into this Wither.
I guess that's
Flower
true.
Bud mechanic.
Yeah, I wasn't
because she is a
about
deck.
that. Yeah, because she's a Reco deck, and that's sort of how Tristan works
Right.
as well. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, Tristan has the like sort of preparation counter theme throughout her whole deck.
Right.
Obviously, the slime deck has the slime theme throughout its whole deck. Yeah, I sort of discounted the fact that she's a Reco deck and will have to have a pre-built deck sort of based around her. So, yeah, no, that's fair. So yeah, super cool.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, thanks, Theo. That's super helpful. All our arts are gorgeous.
Well,
yeah,
that's
I bet.
Perfect.
Also, by the way, I always have to make caveats because I always want to never say anything negative about anybody. I love all artists. I think all artists, especially in Grand Archive, are extremely talented. However, something that is fucking mind-boggling to me is that Pinax, our king, to date, has done every art with Dao Chen in it. Every single one. And that like almost never happens.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Like usually like the champion artist will like do the champion line. And they'll do like a couple of cards maybe. But like Ari's a great example where like Honshu does a bunch of terrific Arisana art, but she's not Ari's artist. And like Dai, who is Ari's artist, does like a little bit, but like not all of it. And so it's spread through a couple of different artists. Every single card that we see that has Dao Chen on is done by Pinax. It's insane. How many pieces of art has that man made? So it's 1 million. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out. Yeah, I'm sure all of our arts are gorgeous because they're all done by Pinax and it's very talented. It's just wild. Like every time I see a new art, I'm like, oh, maybe it's a different artist. Like, nope,
Pinax.
Nope, it's Pinax doing it. It's just every single one. He had like 9 in AMB or something.
Yeah.
And the champion's not even out yet.
Yeah.
Like it's just like 9 Dao Chen arts in
There's like
fucking
Sudden
AMB.
Snow, Yudi.
It's let's see if we can do it. Chat, pull up index. I got you. All right.
I guess I'll pull up index.
That's true. Steve, pull up index. I got you. I think I can nail it. All right. You ready? You're not ready, but you can listen to the words I'm saying. Sudden Snow. Lost in Thoughts if we count it. That's a promo card. Water Barrier. Disorienting Winds. Zephyr. Wisdom's Reprise. Am I missing any? Zephyr, Disorienting Winds, Wisdom's Reprise. She's on that fire card that we haven't seen yet. We don't even know what that card does. Fuck, what am I missing? I surely own it, don't I? In foil. It has Dao Chen in it? Am I crazy? Oh, Vengeful Gust. That one has Dao Chan in it.
Yep.
That's 7. How many more am I missing?
Hold on.
Well, that's 6, I guess, counting Lost in Thoughts is 7. I do. I think that might be all of them.
I was sorting A and B.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't do it.
A and B by artist.
Okay.
Hey, good afternoon. Doing trivia for myself.
Okay.
I have 6 from the base set.
So
That's how many I came up with.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I didn't say UD. UD's 8.
We're missing 1.
Or no, UD's 7. What the fuck am I missing? What color is it?
Okay. So
All right.
redo the list.
Sudden Snow.
Yep.
Water Barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Zephyr.
Mm-hmm.
Disorienting Winds.
Yep.
Vengeful Gust.
Yep.
Wisdom Surprise.
Yep.
UD.
Mm-hmm.
That's 7. I'm missing 2.
Mm-hmm.
What color are they?
Red.
Red. There is a red card with Dao Chan on it?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Was that Dao Chan? No, that's not Dao Chan.
I have no idea. Oh, Heated Vengeance.
There you go.
He did Heated Vengeance because it has Dao Chan in it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm missing 1?
Let me just double check here.
I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And Lost in Thoughts if that counts, but it doesn't. I don't think it's on index.
It is 6, 7, 8, 9,
I haven't seen
10. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9.
9. So I did miss one? Or does that count Lost in Thoughts?
It counts Lost.
Oh, so I got them all.
Yep.
Nice. Easy.
Yep.
I'm a simp.
UD, Zephyr, Vengeful Gust, Heated Vengeance, Wisdom Surprise, Lost in Thoughts, Sudden Snow, Water Barrier.
We are definitely going to pick up that Dao Chan Recollection set. The real question is how many. I did find out that somebody else asked Sil, by the way. I don't know which side of this me versus Sean argument you were on, but I'm here to settle it.
You versus Sean argument.
That somebody asked Silidar, I think a couple of days ago, if the CSR in the Recollection decks is exclusive to the Recollection decks. You remember this argument that I had with Sean?
I don't actually. I don't think I was here for this.
The wording is unclear. It says non-champion CSR will be randomly inserted into the deck.
Oh, this you're talking about like the thing from months ago.
Yeah. Where Sean is convinced that it will be a CSR from the set, and I was like, "There's no way that is what they will do. If it will be an exclusive CSR to the Recollection decks. It is an exclusive CSR to the Recollection decks, confirmed.
Yeah,
which sucks for me, but also get bent, tax man. So yeah, just clearing the air on that one.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many I'm gonna buy. That's really the question.
How
many Dao Chans?
I'm buying 1.
I think 3 is my number. Because I have to be realistic. I'm not trying to be like a scumbag and buy all the Dao Chans, right? But I think realistically, if I use the other ones as a barometer, I built a bunch of decks to teach a friend how to play the game. I'm telling that mostly for them. Steven knows this. However, to build those decks, I needed 3 play sets of Incapacitates. And I did buy 3 Tristan Recollection decks, just because the cards in them were good. So I think my barometer is, I'm going to play Dao Chan. I'm going to play a lot of it. I want to have multiple decks built. If I buy 3, that allegedly allows me to build her in every color if you do have to play the Recollection decks exclusives.
That's not a bad idea.
So
that's not a bad idea.
I think 3 is my reasonable. I'll buy 3 to gamble, but also to get the exclusive Recollection decks.
Maybe I will buy 2 more if there's extras.
Yeah, that also. It's obviously they go to my community first. But if I can manage to steal 3, I'd like to steal 3. Some of the Luxem's and her cards aren't restricted to him. Hopefully that makes Gojo stronger. Yeah, we'll see. Luxem's a weird one, where like so many of those cards are balanced around the fact that you reveal them every turn. Because like Lightweaver's Assault and like Luxem Sight and stuff, like actually terrible shit cards if you're not Sander level 3.
Yeah.
If you're not just revealing them literally every turn. So I'm really curious how they will balance that. Like obviously we've seen like Illuminating Charge is a way to reveal your memory. And so like
plot.
Yeah, so like maybe there's enough of those that makes them playable. But it also allows them to print like Tamer, class bonus Luxem stuff that says on reveal, but they can be like turbo broken because you're not assumed to be revealing every turn, and so you like have to play an uncover or an illuminating charge to get the triggers. So I think it'll be really interesting. I think we always need another meta Tamer deck. You know, you guys don't remember the old days, right? Tamer was the laughing stock, and nobody played Tamer. They were so bad for so long. Like MRC is set 4, bro.
Yeah.
Took 4 sets for Tamer to be playable. So let them have their time in the sun, you know?
Time of the sun plucks them.
And same goes for Cleric. Yeah, she's good now.
Oh, she's broken now.
Yeah. Relax, all right? She was unplayable for a year. You guys remember that? I do. Don't tell you how many fucking locals I lost playing a bad Arisana deck. So now she's good. Relax. You know? Yeah, you'll have your time. Yeah. Everybody has their time. You know? I think everybody has officially had their time. I guess Tony could use some help.
Some TLC. He had...
And Tony, but not Guardian, you know? Yeah. Just Tony.
Tony, not Guardian.
Like, Guardian has had its time. It's having its time right now.
Yeah.
But Tony specifically.
Tony had a little bit of time.
Yeah, like Robots was good.
Well, yeah, Robots is more of a Lorraine thing, right?
I guess so.
No. I played Tony Robots. It was worse than the Lorraine Robots.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Robots was good in ALC format, right, before Andronica was printed. It was Tony Robots.
True.
So when Tony Robots in ALC.
The water Tony deck was way better.
Yeah, but nobody played that deck.
I played that deck.
I know, but nobody else did.
Actually, there was a lot of people at Nationals playing that deck.
Oh, really?
I played like 2 mirror matches.
Cursebreaker time when Mordred. Yeah, you guys are...
No,
you guys are fucking grasping at straws, dude. They're not making Mordred good. Sorry.
I agree. Cursebreaker time when, though.
If only the new Umbra card that was coming out in ALC Altar was good. You guys should go, since we're going to have to skedaddle in a minute. After this live stream is over, you guys... I saw it this morning. You guys should go to the True Champion Gaming YouTube channel. I think it's just True Champion Gaming. You can go find them. And I don't know what video it was from because I haven't had time to watch the full thing. But they were like reviewing cards from ALC Altar. And there's this like YouTube short that they posted where Terry reviews whatever her name is, the new like 3/3 curse ally without having read it before. And it is just like so upsetting because obviously that card's awful. and he is not shy in saying so. So you guys should go watch that. It gave me a good chuckle this morning. But yeah, fucking Cursebreaker needs some help so bad.
Yeah.
And that card's so cool, which is unfortunate. It's just turbo bad. So what do I search to find this? Go to the True Champion Gaming YouTube. It's a short they posted. You can just like go to shorts and it should be there. I think it's literally posted today. It's very cute. We love those boys. So. But yeah, that card's terrible. So rest in Cursebreaker. She's tough. All right. I don't know. I think that's it. What are we eating, Steve? You hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry. Let's go figure that out.
What do you want to eat?
I don't know.
I don't know, food.
Food is good.
All right, yeah, we got a couple of things to do. It's busy time here at the Webway Games. So thank you guys for watching. We will see a real amount of you tomorrow for regionals or tonight for locals. If we won't see you, thank you for watching. We appreciate your viewership so very much. We will be back.
See you next week.
Next week.
Also, please, when you see these our videos go live next week, please interact with them.
Click on them. We like the clicks.
Yeah, we like it.
Not because we make money, but it makes our hearts happy and full.
Yeah. And those will be going live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week.
And also today.
Holiday
special goes up
2 p.m. Holiday special.
All right, thank you guys for watching. Kisses. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, man.